Hey, what's up, guys? So today I'm going to show you how to use the Envio extension for Scaffold-ETH 2. Cool, so the first thing you're going to want to do is run this command. And what that's going to do is set up your Scaffold-ETH 2 project, but with an Envio indexer built into it. Sweet. Okay, so the next few steps are pretty much identical to every other Scaffold-ETH project. You're going to run yarn chain to start up a local blockchain. Cool. Then yarn deploy to deploy the default contract. Sweet. And then yarn start to start up Scaffold-ETH 2. Cool. Right, now whilst this loads, let's just show you what we got here. So this is our project, and you can see it looks pretty much the same as every other Scaffold-ETH project. The only difference is if you go in packages, you should see this Envio folder. And this is essentially your Envio indexer. So this is just a normal Envio indexer that we've set up and configured and placed in here. Sweet. Alrighty. So if you come back here, we should see this little Envio page in the top left. Cool. Okay, one thing to note before continuing is you do need Docker, pnpm, and Node.js installed, but that shouldn't take very long and then you're sorted. Sweet, okay. So the first thing I'm going to show you here is this generate button. And essentially what this is going to do is when you deploy a smart contract in Scaffold-ETH using yarn deploy, it's going to create this deployed contracts TypeScript file. And what this button does is it reads that file to see what all the contract names are, what the events are, what chains they're on, and it's going to set up your indexer to start indexing all those events. So that's what this generate button does, is it reads the contracts you've deployed using yarn deploy, and it sets up a boilerplate indexer. Cool, so let's test it out. We click generate. Should load for a second. Cool, we see it was successful, and if we go back here into the Envio folder, we can see that the config is set up to index that default contract. Awesome, okay. Cool, the next thing we see here is that this indexer status is inactive, so we want to start the indexer. So the way we do that is go back to the terminal, and now we should note that any commands run for the Envio indexer need to be run from the Envio folder. So we're going to cd into my projects, and then packages, and then Envio. Cool, and then the command to start it is just pnpm dev. Sweet, okay, we can see the index is running. Alrighty, so cool, we can see it's active. The next two things to note are we get this Envio console, which essentially just gives you nice little metrics on how the index is doing. And then there's also this Azura console, which is basically the DB for the indexer. So you can just use the password testing, and then we get in here. You can go to data and see all the data. I was testing this earlier, so there actually are a few events in here. But this is essentially the DB for your indexer. Cool. You also get this endpoint here, which is how you can access that data through your code. And sweet, guys, that's about it. You also do have this nice little recent events thing and event counts. But yeah, that's essentially the main part. One thing to note as well is this obviously is a real-time indexer. So if you come here and test out by sending some more events like hello, ooh, let's get some cash first, and then I don't know, let's just send a couple random ones here. Let's do 2 more for the fun of it. We'll make the last one, hi there, it's me, and send it. And if we go back to Envio, we should see that that's the last event. And if we go to the DB, testing, we should see that data come up there. Hi there, it's me. Cool, guys. That's about everything. Sweet. Happy programming.